Foot on the brake. Let's give this thing a little rev test. Ladies and gentlemen, today is going to be a very special day for Morty. Today we get to drive a 2023 Chevy Corvette. Yes, how'd I get my hands on this? Hey, God provides, but quick specs. 0 to 60, 2.9 seconds, 8-speed dual clutch transmission, rear-wheel drive mid and mid-engine supercar. Yes, I call it a supercar, get used to it, keep up with the times. And 6.2 pushing 490 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque, powering only the rear wheels. Oh! Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And let me pop under the glass. This is our glorious powerhouse, 6.2 liter of heavenly American screeching eagles underneath here. But just don't put any dairy products because your exhaust also runs underneath here, so it does get kind of toasty on this compartment back here. And yes, this one is one of those ones where you can remove the roof. You can remove the roof and put it into your trunk to get that nice convertible experience. Now hopping into one of my favorite parts about this thing, the cabin. Door handles right behind this. Pull it open. And again, courtesy call to all those who want to enter cars that are really low to the ground, entry-level supercars, is you essentially get one leg in, kind of sit in and just fall in for the rest of the way. There is no real elegant way to get yourself in there. And I am sitting at a comfortable 6 foot, and I have all the leg room that I would need. We got GoPro number 2 to get you guys the passenger view. And look at that infotainment system. Oh, beautiful. Now, foot on the brake. Gonna turn down our fan volume so you guys can hear me. Putting on my seatbelt. Okay. So as you can see, we're instantly greeted with the most fighter jet cockpit out there. Everything is angled slightly towards the driver to give you that fighter jet feel. You're wondering how your drive mode selectors work? Right here. Grab this and twist. We're in sport mode. We're in track mode. But we're gonna keep it in normal until we actually get onto the highway. And then we can go crazy. Beautiful pattern shifters and a nice square steering wheel that I really like. I know the newer models have gotten rid of the AC controls over here. I'm honestly gonna kind of miss that. I really like this little quirky feature of them having it up like this. But again, like the GTR, this thing was designed to embarrass supercars for the fraction of a price. And some people hate it, some people love it, some people are still getting their heads wrapped around a car like this. And I would say to all those who are thinking about getting a car like this, I highly implore you, pull the trigger. You won't hate it. For the fraction of a price and all the savings you would make, you're gonna save a lot. And another thing I've realized after watching a lot of people review this car is that this thing does tend to understeer a little bit. And Corvette, well, Chevy says that is for safety reasons. The reason this car tends to understeer is because we are on our street alignment. There's 2 alignments actually, street and track. So when you're on your street alignment, the car tends to understeer slightly, especially when you're coming in hard into curves. The track alignment gets rid of that by making the camber a good -3 degrees, making the car actually oversteer, which is honestly what most car enthusiasts would want. But the guys who buy these cars are not really car enthusiasts. They don't know how to handle a mid-engine sports car slipping out of control and going for a little slide. So Chevy said, you know what, we'll make the car understeer to keep our clientele alive. And the thing is, the looks you get from driving a car like this is phenomenal. I'm gonna add a clip of a lady coming to talk to me just so that she just wanted to talk to me, and I love that. I was in the middle of filming, so I kind of panned a little bit, but that is the presence this car carries. Is it the fastest thing out there? Yeah, actually, we're pretty high up there, to be honest. It doesn't really get any faster than 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, you know? It's very hard to beat half the time. So once you start hitting those levels, oof, it's hard to beat. Another thing I've realized while driving this mid-engine sports car is the visibility. because the engine is directly behind you, your visibility is slightly limited. So you gotta be on point with your mirror game has gotta be on point. And another thing I really love is that they've given us a digital rear view mirror. I can toggle it to see what's behind me exactly, or I can do this and see exactly behind me, which is pretty nice. Simple, elegant, and the 8-speed does a very good job at keeping me in the most optimal of power bands. I can just let loose and floor it and the car will just let me. It's a very competent car and actually very safe to drive. I've seen people driving these things in Michigan snow and they just put some good set of winter tires, call it a day. If you are gonna daily drive this car, I implore you heavily to get that nose lift feature so that you can angle up your nose a little bit higher for those slightly steeper or deeper puddles, because again, we can drive it in summer, winter, snow, fall, pothole season, construction season. You can drive this thing pretty much everywhere. And that's another thing I've fallen in love about it, is just how adaptable and how capable this thing is. Now, since we're gonna go onto the highway, you know, naturally I'm gonna put it into one of our sportier settings and do a good acceleration test. So, woo. God damn, Chevy knew what they were doing when they made this monster. When you put it in sport mode, it's a completely different animal. The engine claps for you every time you shift a gear. The engine claps for you. Everything becomes a theater, an orchestra, just to show you how this thing performs. It's crazy. It's terrifying. And you'll be saying, oh yeah, it's a smaller car. Insulation probably wouldn't be the greatest. I'm like, you're kind of wrong about that. Insulation is actually pretty good. And yes, we have very good Bose sound systems as well, which I love for a fact that they added something like that in a car like this. So let's listen to our music real quick. Crazy good. Good our gauge cluster, digital gauge cluster. 8 inches of screen. Like, you gotta forgive me. One of my first times in a mid-engine sports car. And it is treating me like a rag doll in here. In a very, very excellent and good way. Like, let me show you how good the shifts are for this thing. So beautiful. The sounds, the clicking, everything seems to be just custom made to make you feel good. And people seem to forget that this car is still a fun beast. It's a terrifying car to drive. 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. And you're telling me you take something else? Again, this thing competes with cars like the Audi R8. Well, if you want to go to the used market, you can't really compete with this thing in price. Hooks up. It gives me even, like I want to say, it gives me Audi R8 levels of confidence in the way that I drive. I can step on it and the car will go. I can point it in that direction. As long as it's not in a sharp corner, the car will go. Everything about it is just point and go. And it works though. It works. The looks you get, the orchestra and the cinema this car gives you. It is honestly hard to beat for the price tag. Do we have blind spot monitoring? No, but we have lane keep assist and cruise control. We also have this mode right here that puts you into the sportiest setting this car can muster up. The shifts become short. The gearing ratio becomes precise. The car does everything in its power to simply launch you forward, and I wouldn't even want to say scare you. It puts a grin on your face. It's one of those driving feels that the more you push this car, the more it gives you, and the more you want to push it again. Again, I haven't had the opportunity to actually take this car spirited driving, but from the quick little segments where I step on it, and give it the guts, to give it the beans, this car cooperates. This car is like, hey, you do know I can move faster, right? You do know we can take that corner faster, right? And the steering wheel does a very good job at communicating with me. We're not talking Porsche levels of communication where you feel every little detail, but I feel a lot coming through here. And again, who doesn't love an engine right behind them, where the exhaust is right behind you singing for you? Who doesn't love that? It's excellent in what it does, and for the price tag you can't hate it. And yes, people have been seen driving these things in snow, in wet conditions, in the most unfavorable things. The Corvette will probably prevail and keep driving, similar to the Audi R8. Crazy, I know, but it works. It just simply does its job. Woo! Jesus! This is not fair. No, again, you got the looks down, you got the performance numbers down, you got the exhaust notes down as well. Everything about it has been not even handcrafted, hand-picked, cherry-picked even, to make it supercar levels of enjoyable. It's fun, it's all the ground. My suspension agrees with me, it wants me to do more. The car is telling me to do more, but I can't do more because I'm not on the track. That's the thing though. It's mind-boggling how quickly you can get to felony level speeds in this thing. Everything about it just makes you realize what money can get for you. Yes, you could say you want an older car, you love the classics. I love them too. But you kind of gotta appreciate what Chevy is doing out there. The ZR1X just got released, and that car is going crazy. The ZR1 got released, 1,000 horsepower to the rear wheels for less than 300K. Chevy's out here cooking. Chevy's out here making the most phenomenal of supercars. Yes, I still keep calling them supercars because that's honestly the best thing I can call it. Engines in the back, transmission is snappy, supercar numbers and everything. But somebody will probably disagree with me and say it's actually not a supercar, yada yada yada. But okay, even if you want to lowball it, it's a very, very high-end sports car, if you want to even call it that. Which feels like I'm doing it a disservice at this point. There is more that this car has to offer. And I implore you, go drive one. I'm sitting at 6 foot, very, very comfortable. The seats are comfy. Do we have heated and ventilated seats in this entry level of one? Nope. Nope, we do not. But when you get an entry level Corvette, you're not getting there for all the add-ons and the fully loaded out things. You're getting it for the driving feel. The steering wheel has a nice firm grip. And the thing is, I can go grand touring with this thing. I can go way, way far with this thing. It's, again, I keep saying it's not fair. And it really isn't. For the price tag, it beats out a lot of the competition. Maybe some of y'all have a little bit more preference to the Porsche. Maybe you say, I like the Porsche and I actually want to drive the Porsche more often. And maybe you rationalize to yourself that I would want the Porsche over the Corvette. Still very similar performance number. It's just the kind of taste you want. This one gives you that good American roar. But if you want a proper, that exotic flat plane V8 that we've heard so many people review, the Z06, that's the one you want to get. That screaming V8. This one is still a nice grumbling V8. But the Z06, that's the problem. Now that I've gotten into a Corvette, I'm ruined. I don't want to go back to a regular car. I don't want to get into a SUV. I don't even want to drive any big SUVs anymore. I just want to drive this. But anyway guys, this has been Morty in the 2023 C8 Corvette 6.2 V8 cross plane, by the way, 490 horsepower, 465 pound-feet of torque, rear-wheel drive, mid-engine, entry-level supercar, and that is rear-wheel drive. Take care of yourself, guys. Like and subscribe, and let me know what other cars you want me to get my hands on, because life's getting interesting right now, I can't even lie.